This is Steve Robbins. Welcome to the Get It Done Guys quick and dirty tips to work less and do more. If you're a college student like the absurdly overachieving intern MG, who I do not resent in any way whatsoever, you have so much opportunity that you can easily make the wrong choices. MG is back to class after the winter break. When he's not learning 5 languages, getting a black belt in Israeli Krav Maga, and comparing Moby Dick to classical literature for fun, he actually does attend classes. And last week, he was offered yet another new opportunity, working as a paralegal for a prestigious law firm, making all-important copies for the partners. His semester is already jam-packed with classes, but it's tempting. Very, very tempting. After all, the gig is going to sound great for his resume. In college, you need to choose between activities where you learn a lot, activities that make your resume look good, or both. But not all resume-building activities are created equal. You want the ones that will give you the most bang for your buck. So how do you make sure you're signing up for the opportunities that will serve you best? Prioritize learning when making choices about how to spend your time. Run, don't walk, from activities that actively block your learning. First of all, don't take classes you think you won't learn from. If you're picking a class to look good on a resume, don't. Recruiters don't look at specific classes. Do you really think they want to know how your freshman advanced ambition for upwardly mobile teenagers class went? No, not likely. They're far more interested in how you think, how you problem solve, and how you deal with people. When you take classes whose only redeeming value is the title, the only thing you're going to get out of it is a title line on your resume. But even worse, your one-liner is using up precious class slots that you could use to learn something that really changes your life. By the way, it's the same with internships. Jobs that sound like they would look good on your resume, there are a lot of those. Don't do those either. Find out what's really involved in an internship, ask around, and if it's really just carrying coffee around and running a laser printer, think twice. A lame-o internship is just wasting your time. Cut your losses if you can. If something's a time waster, get out. Some commitments, once started, can't be stopped halfway through, so before saying yes, think about whether you can gracefully switch paths if an opportunity turns out to be less than expected. For example, using your add-drop period to research a class and then drop a class if you're not learning. Quit any student groups that are a useless burden, and if you're carrying coffee at that internship, ask your sponsor to move you to projects where you can make a real difference. Make the best of it, though, if you can't drop it. If life gives you a time waster that you can't just drop, make time waster aid. If your internship is teaching you zilch and you couldn't drop it early on, look for non-traditional ways to complete it. Seek out special projects. Network with cool people in the office. And if you're spending over $1,000 a week for a class or 20 hours a week on an internship, just make sure you're really getting your money's worth. You can also do your research to make sure that an opportunity will provide useful learning. We have the interwebs. Before committing, do your research. Separate the wheat from the time-wasting non-wheat, like potatoes or carrots. When picking classes, look on ratemyprofessor.com to find out how much other folks learned in the class and see if the reviews make you more or less interested. Look at the course description carefully and take the time to check out a past syllabus. Talk with people who have taken the class or the internship. And don't just ask, did you like it? Ask questions that tease out whether or not they actually developed themselves. Ask, how did this change your worldview? What did you learn? How have you applied that learning? How has it changed your approach to life? If an experience hasn't made a difference in someone's life, that's a strong hint that maybe it isn't worth your time and attention either. Do seek out high-learning activities. Once you've tossed out the time wasters that block learning, decide what kinds of learnings you want and find experiences that will give you those. Do you want to learn to work as a part of a team with other students or coworkers? Do you want a boss or a professor who can become your mentor? Do you want to learn how to fold sweaters really, really well? I've considered working at the Gap for a summer just to learn how to fold clothes. List what will make a class or an internship worthwhile to you, and then rate your different options on those criteria and choose the one that gives you the biggest leg up. Taking minutes for your boss's meetings might be a low-value internship measured in learning. But if your boss is the White House Chief of Staff, then it might be great for networking. Plus, you can add an action item, prepare for zombie apocalypse, at the bottom of the minutes and watch the fun when he gets back to the Oval Office. Let's recap. When you have competing commitments in college, choose the opportunities that give you the most learning. Beware of empty resume-building classes and internships. Get out of time wasters as soon as you can and do your research beforehand to make sure that you can expect an activity to be good for learning. You can even be more rigorous by creating an explicit learning scorecard and using it to evaluate opportunities. Now that he realizes that learning should be how he makes his decisions, intern MG knows just what to do.
I've identified my high learning goals as getting deep exposure to journalism practices, understanding entrepreneurship, and learning to manage projects. Operating a photocopy machine, even for a prestigious firm like Dewey, Cheatham & Howe, will not help me reach those goals.
So MG is going to keep working shifts at a major national newspaper as he co-founds a business and teaches himself MIT's computer science curriculum in his spare time. I'm hoping to make sure he goes up for a surprise black belt test his first day on the job, purely as a way of supporting his desire to learn, of course. I'm very generous that way. This is Steve Robbins. Follow Get It Done Guy on Facebook and Twitter. I'm putting together a program to help you align your activities and your environment and all of your resources behind your highest goals so you have the most amazing year ever. If you'd like to join me, check out steverrobbins.com/New Year's. That's STEVERROBBINS.com/New Year's. Work less, do more, and have a great life.